After the amazing launch of Chapter 3, the future of Fortnite looked extremely bright. Unfortunately, with the Russian-Ukraine war starting just before the kickoff of the new season, Fortnite had to scrap a few things for Season 2, their war-themed season. This season was supposedly originally called Reality War, and used taglines like "War is coming" to promote it similarly to how Chapter 1 Season 9's "The Future is Yours" did. Also, allegedly there was meant to be a Russian Gulag POI and a live event leading us into the season, which all sound way better than what we actually got. Although I do completely understand why Epic made these decisions. And for the first 2 weeks of the season, all the money they raised, which happened to be 144 million, went to the humanitarian relief for Ukraine. With a shocking turn of events that surprised everyone, Fortnite also introduced a new mechanic this season, which ironically would defeat the purpose of what made their game stand out: Zero Bill. With it initially intending to last only 2 weeks, with the community loving it and it bringing in so many old and new players, Fortnite decided to make it a permanent game mode. I wonder if we'll see this again. Leaks like this, along with a lot of other problems revolving around Epic and Fortnite, have caused Fortnite to struggle keeping up with how they've conditioned their player base. I briefly mentioned this in a prior video, but conditioning, as defined by the Cambridge Dictionary, is the process of training or influencing a person or animal mentally so that they do or expect a particular thing without thinking about it. It can be broken down even further into classical conditioning, which involves an involuntary response to a stimulus, and operant conditioning, which links a voluntary action with either a positive or negative reinforcement or punishment. The example I used in my last video when talking about the Battle Pass was, the game also offers weekly challenges which helps grant extra XP to help work your way through the pass, as well as occasionally free rewards like a loading screen. This is operant conditioning. We get positive reinforcement, the cosmetics, for doing the quests and earning XP, and this is a bit of a stretch, but if you have pinned quests, negative reinforcement is seen through the automatic removal of these. It was first studied with the use of dogs by sociologist Ivan Pavlov, and now I'm going to be looking at Fortnite's recent issues through a similar perspective. Chapter 3 isn't the first example of a Fortnite leak ruining some of the hype for a season though, as it happens every single damn season, and cosmetics get leaked more often than Fortnite updates the game itself. The worst of these offenders have to be Chapter 5 as a whole. Before the chapter even started, I'mPayQ, sorry if I mispronounced that, posted the full map on Twitter. Other than the fact it was missing POI names and was flipped 90 degrees, it was the actual map. He did this by extracting unfinished terrain data found in the Chapter OG update and packages from UEFN. They were most likely either added early to prepare for the next update, or fat-fingered on accident, as we know this is a common occurrence now. This led to some players getting used to the map, including me.
Where you going? Home. Where's home?
The very next season, the entirety of Chapter 5's roadmap leaked. This not only included Battle Royale, but the newly added LEGO, Festival, and Rocket Racing modes too. This was posted on 4chan, of course, by an anonymous user and was later shared by one of the most prominent figures in the data mining and leaker community, HypeX, with many people thinking he's actually an Epic employee, or at least someone who's paid by them to hype up future features. While not being leaks, Epic also puts out skin surveys every few seasons, which have a similar effect, and in Chapter 5 Season 2 many of them were added to the Battle Pass. Skin surveys are a chance for the community to show Epic which already designed skins they like and would like to purchase in-game. Like I said, the Battle Pass along with in the item shop had these skins, and almost all of them were complete downgrades from their originals. I don't get why they would do this unless they were running out of time and couldn't get all of the details in on time for the 3D model. Conditioning often can lead to expectation setting as well, which is the process of communicating one's thoughts or expectations about future events, behaviors, or outcomes. This is often seen in reward-driven models, which I'll talk about a little bit later. When Epic's future plans are spoiled for them, or even by themselves occasionally, it can cause their players to become accustomed to these features, and when they're changed for the worse, it leads to players thinking that Epic are lazy or purposely making the game worse. Oh, and I guess there are also players who genuinely prefer these cosmetics and features, but I'm going to pretend like they don't exist. Also, with cosmetics especially, it leads to a lot of the community just accepting this fact, and continuing to buy the perceived worse rewards, normalizing the lower standards of what their art department's original visions were. Not His Sled is a meteor trope first recognized in the film Citizen Kane, often recognized as the best film ever made, and it can be used to explain some of the changes that Epic makes, as it refers to something that is changed due to being leaked early. When Epic does this, it can also be seen as a common scummy marketing tactic called shrinkflation, which is where the brand implicitly increases the price of an item by slightly decreasing the amount or quantity in a package, which happened most recently with the V-Buck prices increasing and the reduction of currency you received. Skimflation can better describe this as a similar premise, but instead you get the same amount with lower quality of the item. Or in this case, since we're referring to skins, the quality of the product and gameplay. These become the standard at which players will start judging other products they produce due to their normalization. Also, people will still buy these due to there obviously being no competition, no better choices in the shop, and the constant consumer want for new items, whether that be because they're exclusive or because you like the property it's from. Also, the community has become so used to not being surprised by anything they add, that when they are able to keep a secret, it's genuinely crazy, and this has definitely led to a loss of anticipation in updates. Although Epic has taken preventative measures such as suing leakers, it is still a rampant problem in the community today, and Epic has failed to keep it under control. Going back to Chapter 3 Season 2, due to Zero Build being an accidental feature, and obviously not intentionally launched with Battle Royale, what is wrong with you? Why are you here? Many of the game's features have been bugged or less optimal for Zero Build players. This all changed though in Chapter 7 Season 2. Damn, it took a long time. Zero Build received a complete overhaul, adding many new things such as infinite stamina while holding your pickaxe, a pocket item on cooldown, most of the time being a shockwave, and glider redeploy. These things have become such a common input for me to do that anytime I switch back to build mode, God forbid, I find myself constantly trying to do both. This is actually the reason I'm making this video.
Fuck you.
Running now feels even more like an inconvenience did, without infinite stamina making me question how we ever dealt with just walking back in the day. I understand that you could argue that these features reduce the usefulness of other utility items like the 7 sliders from this season, but I feel like with the newer mechanics in the game, specifically sprites, maybe these should be added to builds as well. The glider redeploy mechanic is a lot more straightforward. I simply keep jumping off cliffs to my near death because I'm so used to being able to pull my glider out, and this has cost me multiple fights. I know it's a user error, but unless Epic is going to start marketing builds and Zero Builds as 2 different modes like they do with OG and Reload, the game should relatively stay the same. Although I do think they should split up, and maybe that's a topic I'll cover some other time. Speaking of OG, it has some similar, yet less impactful features such as ziplines and rifts being added all around the map to help with the gameplay of Zero Build, as the map wasn't designed with it in mind. This just feels off, and although it plays better, it is definitely odd being chased by someone across the whole map now. Muscle memory is also heavily involved with conditioning, and they work together through motor learning. Although not synonymous to conditioning, motor learning is the internal, neural, and cognitive processes concerning practice or experience leading to a relatively permanent change in performance. Basically, motor learning takes place while refining a physical skill through repetition, and then muscle memory is able to unconsciously retrieve the information and is then sent through your spinal cord to your fingers in this case. That's a very brief overview, but you get the point. When you put this together, you get the simple action of playing a video game. Fortnite also conditions their players with bugs, and worst of all with this, it can take them months to years to fix some of these, many of which are game-breaking and can ruin a whole season. This happens because the longer a bug stays in, the more players figure out ways to work around the addition. One of the most recent examples of this is due to the Chaos Reloader shotgun bug. This weapon has one shot, but is supposed to reload on its own, making it super powerful as you can switch to another weapon after hitting a powerful shot, without any consequences. This would be the case, if it weren't glitched so it wouldn't reload automatically, the whole damn point of the weapon. They did eventually fix this near the end of the season it was added, but wait. There's a second fucking glitch, at least on console, which had to do with if you switched off of it mid-reload or sprinting or something. Honestly, I don't remember, which up until its removal in Season 3, never got fixed. Another glitch to get a lot of attention recently has been the auto sort bug. Although this has been around for years, it was put prominently back on display with the release of their competitive warm-up mode, Arena's Box Fights. This mode is a UEFN project, which not only explains a lot, but starts you off with an inventory full of items. In Fortnite, there's a setting that's turned off by default called Prefer Item Slots. This glitch would simply cause your items to be placed in the spots that did not align with what you had set in your settings. The Safe Zone Rift anomaly spawns a friendship bubble from Delulu over the extraction sites in the Battle Royale match. But in Zero Build, there was a glitch with pocket items that gave an infinite amount when using them inside of it. Combining this with the shockwaves were super fun, as you could spam infinite shockwaves to send unsuspecting players out of the zone and make for some really fun fights. It was removed after being in the game for a few weeks, and the augment just doesn't feel the same and is way less fun now. Lastly, for glitches, I want to look back at another glitch that has existed since its release, the movement mechanic hurdling. This feature was so bad upon its release in Chapter 3 Season 2, and was removed soon after not being fixed until Chapter 4 OG. Or so, that's what they want you to think. While the main feature of the mechanic is fixed, in Chapter 4 Season 1 they introduced the ability to hurdle through windows, which just doesn't work with every window in the game. This is especially a problem right now at some places around the map, specifically this one really annoying building in Calamari Canyon. This place pisses me off so bad, and I've died so many times here because of it. Due to that, I now avoid this building altogether. We really shouldn't have to go out of our way to avoid features like this. Finally, I want to talk about probably the most popular topic at the moment, sprites. Fortnite just announced that with the release of Season 4, not only will sprites be staying around, they'll be adding something called sprite generations. You can think of it as something similar to Pokemon generations, with each season introducing new ones and occasionally re-releasing old ones. These are currently set to be released in modes outside of Battle Royale, similar to the John Wick Sprite in Reload this season. Sprites also come with 3 days during the week that encourage more playtime. Mastery Mondays, which levels up your sprites faster. New sprites are released on Thursdays, and Saturdays are power hours to help you easily find rare sprites. With both this and Save the World daily login rewards, Fortnite really likes to capitalize on getting daily playtime out of their players. Recently, Fortnite has also released a new NPC type to UEFN, Sidekicks, which didn't get much playtime. And with the horrible decisions they've been making with UEFN, even with this big step in the right direction, I think, with this big update to UEFN. Due to the maps like Red vs. Blue, games Fortnite has promoted themselves, like Escape Vader, all the AI shit spread across the whole game, and incredibly high in-game cosmetic prices. People just don't want to go near these game modes, and I don't blame them. Thank you guys so much for watching and making it this far into the video. I'm having so much fun making these videos for you guys, and I have so many more plans on the way. These videos are a lot of work though, with each video taking a minimum of 30 hours, partially due to me being new at this. And with my next semester of school coming up, I would greatly appreciate if you guys subscribed.